Hi, I'm Diane, a Bible teller. On Lent, we are following the last 3 days before Jesus was killed, and I'm reading Mark. Do you know why I chose the Gospel of Mark? It is the first book written among the 4 Gospels. I thought it would make sense to read the first record. In addition, the Gospel of Mark records the last week of Jesus by date. Especially, the events on Friday when Jesus died are organized by time. So, I hope you can understand why I chose Mark now. Then, let's go back to 2 days before his death. Being in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper. Bethany is a small town near Jerusalem. On the Passover week, Jesus and his disciples arrived in Jerusalem 3 days earlier. Later, the group of Jesus went to Jerusalem during the day and then returned to Bethany in the evening, avoiding the fuss. They repeated this schedule, so it was kind of a base camp. This is Bethany in 1980s. And this is Bethany in the 1940s. It is commonly understood that the Bethany's etymology is the home of the poor. From this, I think Bethany was a poor village near Jerusalem. An unexpected situation arises when the group of Jesus was eating. As he sat at meat, there came a woman having an alabaster box of ointment of spikenard, very precious, and she broke the box and poured it on his head. Ointment is fragrant oil. The anointing of oil on a head has a significant meaning religiously. This means that someone is chosen by God and he is anointed when he is appointed as a king or a priest. In everyday life, it is related to funerals. When the Jews buried people, they applied oil to the corpse to stop the rotting odor. And there were some that had indignation within themselves, and said, "Why was this waste of the ointment made? For it might have been sold for more than 300 pence, and have been given to the poor." And they murmured against her. The pence in the text refers to the currency denarius at that time. The daily wage for a worker at that time was 1 denarius. Nowadays, if the daily wage is $130, it is about $40,000, so it is very expensive. I think it was the disciples who were angry at the women, but I can understand their point. And Jesus says unto them, "And Jesus said, Let her alone. Why trouble ye her? She hath worth a good work of me. For ye have the poor with you always, and whensoever ye will ye may do them good, but me ye have not always. She hath done what she could. She is come aforehand to appoint my body to the burying." Surrounded by the poor in the village, Jesus was put the most expensive oil on his head. This was his crown and funeral at the same time. However, even the people who were watching this scene couldn't quite figure out the meaning, maybe except for one person. And Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went on to the chief priests to betray him unto them. And when they heard it, they were glad and promised to give him money, and he sought how he might conveniently betray him. Judas Iscariot, one of the 12 disciples, but many things are enigmatic except that he betrayed Jesus. From the name first, Iscariot is a name of a place. Judas Iscariot means that Judas from a place called Iscariot. But there are other interpretations. Some people explain that the origin of the word Iscariot is Sicari, meaning beggar, and we can infer that he was a member of an armed group that resisted Rome. There are many interpretations of the reason of his betrayal, such as being disappointed with Jesus' past of not actively resisting Rome, simply being tempted by money, or being given Satan's order, etc. And what I can say is I don't know why exactly. In any case, however, the plot against Jesus was completed through Judas. Wednesday, 2 days before the Passover, was the day Jesus rested at Bethany without any schedule. It was the last calm day in his life. It was Diane, a Bible teller. Peace be with you.